Hi everyone, this is week 6, discussion 7. For question number 1, it says, what is your worst public speaking experience and why do you think you had bad presentation? For me, one of my, worst experience public speaking was in the beginning of my college career. We had a group presentation where we all had to take a certain chapter of the book and speak about it and what we learned and interpret it to teach the class on that particular chapter. Well, I was a beginning student. I didn't really want to do it. It's like a lot of people don't want to do homework. And my group ended up doing my slides, so I thought I was good. I didn't do anything. And when they came to the speech, I was really nervous. I had no idea what I was talking about. And I just read off the slide and kept saying it, and just said whatever popped to my head. And it was a very bad experience because I felt embarrassed in front of my peers speaking out on the subject or in a slide that I had no idea and I wasn't prepared. So that's what I think I had bad presentation, because I didn't prepare myself and I didn't do the effort to get the good grade. I just relied on my teammates to make my slide, my PowerPoint for my section, and relied on them and didn't do any work. But after that point forward, I always did enough research so I knew what I was talking about. For question number 2, it says, what is an attention-getting technique you incorporated in your presentations? One of attention-getting techniques that I like to use is attention-getting tip. So something like that grabs their attention, whether it be like a quote, a statistic, because it makes them think. It makes them think like, oh, is that really true? Or it makes them think that you actually did your research and there is statistics out there trying to tell you or prove their point. It also grasps something, like I said, something that grabs people's attention and supports something that supports their idea, something that's related to. I also think it establishes rapport and makes you think that you're qualified to talk to the subject because you did do all these research and there is stuff to back up what you're saying or how to convince the audience of your point of view or convince them to do a certain task or daily activity or a point of view that you wanted them to see in their life. They want to know that you have the background for it. For question 3, it says, what tip can you employ from chapter 12 to increase your effectiveness as a speaker? One of the ones I really liked was maintain eye contact with the contract and still moving without the room. It's like engaging with different people, make everyone feel welcome and accepting that you're talking to everyone, to not just a specific person, but the whole audience. And also another thing that I learned from my other communication classes, to move behind the lecture or the platform or whatever's in front of you to reduce the space between you and the audience, make you feel more engaged and more connected to the audience, like you're one with them. And I also think one is very important, to keep the time limit suitable to what you're talking about. Sometimes people can lose interest, so that's always really important to watch your audience, see if they're dozing off or what's going on in their head. I mean, sometimes it can be hard because it's all dark, but if you can look at your audience, try to grab their attention, maybe throw a joke in there and really just grab their attention. And it could be a long lecture, but if you throw little stuff here and there, it'll make sure they're still paying attention and grasp what you're trying to teach. And the 4th point was looking at the lecture slides, what mistakes did you spot on the presentations example? Some of the ones I noticed for some pictures, they were reading off the slides and they had their back towards the audience. So that makes you look like you're unprepared or just reading off the slides. It makes people can read your slides, so it makes it just an inadequate presentation. It makes it you lose interest in it. Another one I saw was like people looked nervous and they had their hands in their pocket or behind them. It looked like they weren't engaged with the audience and just trying to get the presentation done. Like, I know we have many presentations that we don't want to do when it's a subject that we really don't care about, especially with like some general eds that we're forced to take. But just maybe having hand movements make it look like you're so enthusiastic, mind over matter. Another one was they were standing in front of the screen and they weren't letting the audience read what they had, or they had a lot in the screen, like a whole essay, Again, if you're going through these PowerPoints really quick, people think they missed something, or they're trying to read your PowerPoint and not listen to what you're saying. So I think it was a good point what the professor said, keep it at 3x3, 3 posts, 3 words. Another one I saw that the professor didn't talk about, but I did catch, is they weren't dressed professionally. If you're dressed periodically or dressed in a certain way that steers away the attention on what you're speaking, it could really be bad. We should just dress presentable so people can listen to what we're saying and not look at what we're wearing. And that's about it. Have a good day.